What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name's Dave and I love to share my Lego and toy related journey now. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to open these things moving forward, but we used to do Lego investment and that's still a large part of what I do. However, we have opened a brick and mortar store if you've been following along with the channel. And so you know that we've kind of branched off into some other kind of collectible brands like Magic the Gathering, Lorcana, Pokemon, Dungeons and Dragons, and I probably would do a lot more than that if I had the space, but we don't. Our space is very small, and so I've got to cap it somewhere, and that's really kind of where I've drawn the line for right now. We'll see what happens in the future once we get some more space. But anyway, I'm coming at you from a little different position. I'm sure it doesn't look amazing, angles, whatever. I've got to focus on the road. I am doing a road trip at the moment, driving down to Texas. So for those of you who've been longtime viewers, I'm pretty sure I shared, it was either on YouTube, it might have been on Instagram though, of a previous trip that I took down to Texas. There was a gentleman down there looking to get rid of a lot of his collection, and so my wife and I took a long weekend trip, packed up the car, the Escape actually. We're in the, well, not we, I'm in the van now. I'm taking tangents already. This is going to be rough, you guys. Anyway, we took a trip down here before, ended up purchasing a collection. It was a really nice collection. The gentleman and his family were fantastic. It was just an easy transaction. Kind of a nice little road trip outside of a bad thunderstorm that we got into right as we got into kind of the Dallas, Texas area. So that was a little bit spooky for my wife. She was the one doing most of the driving because she kind of gets car sick. This time, however, it's just me taking this trip. So it's, you know, a little more lonely, a little more quiet. I've been doing a lot of listening to podcasts and videos kind of around opening game stores and opening LGSs, which I guess is also game stores. Anyway, opening toy stores, things along those lines. Just trying to really research as much as I can to try and find ways to improve and better the business that my wife and I have embarked on. So that same gentleman who we purchased from before said that he was ready to let go of not the rest of his collection, but another very large part of his collection. I think it's almost the rest of his sealed stuff. And so he sent me this list, and I went through and calculated out everything. We got him some offers. He came back, he accepted that. Came back with some other sets that we ended up going back and forth on a little bit. And we did end up nailing down a price for some of those as well. And that's why all of a sudden I am taking a trip. It is currently, what is it, Saturday? Yeah, it's Saturday. So my wife's actually been at the store pretty much the whole day now. So this is going to be a long day for her. Saturday, our hours are 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. So pretty long day, right? 11-hour day. She doesn't really get a whole lot of breaks. However, she does have Scott there with her. And obviously a lot of other stores right there. If you've been to our area, you know that we're very connected with the other retailers kind of in front of us and to the side of us. But she does have a little bit of a backup and relief in case things get busy or something. But it's still going to be a long day. She still has Scott. She still has Luke. She's trying to accomplish food, do all the things while I go for a crazy long car ride. It's 18-hour drive to and 18 hours from the Dallas, Texas area. So it's a very long trip. You'd almost question if it was worth it. However, it's a large enough collection that making this trip, I think, is worth it. I'm really excited about some of the unique offerings. And that's kind of one of the biggest things is, you know, it's not necessarily the largest margins on some of these items, but it's at least some unique sets that I can bring into the store, and I'm really excited about being able to keep that turnover and inventory fresh in the store, and that's what I like about this stuff. So anyway, so I'm making this trip. I don't know that that was really why I wanted to do the video. I just wanted to get some good stuff out here. Taking a trip. We'll end up doing some updates in another video, I guess, but this one's just going to be the way down. I'm already starting to ramble, folks. That's going to be rough. The gentleman that I'm getting this stuff from, he did also send me even another list of some additional things, so I don't actually know what all I'm going to end up leaving there with. At some point when I finally stop to sleep, I will end up kind of calculating out some value associated with the other items. Again, I'm just kind of excited to have some fresh inventory because most of these things are different than what I have in my collection or inventory to date, and that's what I want to offer to everyone. Now, I guess kind of another thing, kind of a fun part that I'll share is I'm doing this great, fantastic. Friday was our first Friday Night Magic. I'm going to be all over the place, folks. I'm rambling. Friday Night Magic. So we had our first Friday Night Magic yesterday, and I was super excited. I had a fantastic time. I'm not complaining at all. However, I will say that I think I had built it up in my head as though, oh, all you need to do is put Friday Night Magic out there, tell a couple people, make an event on Facebook, and my store was going to be packed. I was actually concerned beforehand of how I was going to turn people away because we have very, very limited space in the store. We can seat 8 to 12 comfortably, and I kind of had a backup plan that I could get at least another 4 to get it up to around 16 in there. But I was thinking I was going to be turning people away or hoping that maybe the people kind of came and went and staggered it. Not the case at all. Reality kind of sunk in a little bit. And I found out that, hey, look, if you don't really try hard to get that word out there, your events are not going to start popping off to that level. So maybe I'll go ahead and call this video Road Trip and an Expectation Check or Reality Check. Anyway, I was happy with what we had. We started off, one gentleman showed up, Mike had a great time. My son and Mike played what seemed to be the longest game of Commander Magic ever. It was such a grind on both of their parts, but they had a good time. We did have another gentleman who's one of our friends. He ended up coming up a little bit later, and so we did end up doing a 4-person Commander EDH pod. I guess pods are what they call them. This is a little bit new to me. I'm going to get the vernacular down. So we did a 4-player Commander pod, and Mike ended up winning the match, so that was pretty awesome for him. It was pretty close. I think during that game, everyone was kind of stood out as the lead at one point or another, and then there was a lot of crazy Armageddon happening across the board there and kind of doing a reset across everyone. It was just a great time. I really enjoyed it. I threw some free product at those guys for showing up and supporting our store. We are WPN, and so I've kind of got some different milestones that I have to hit, and I'm excited about doing that. Next week, we've got pre-release coming up, and so I want to really make sure that I'm doing a better job at getting messaging out there about what we have to offer at the store. I know Mike, thankfully, is a super nice guy, really glad that he could make it. He talked about how he was going to, kind of tell his friend group who he plays Magic with. Hopefully they can all come on down. We're going to do some sealed deck pre-release kit tournaments. So hopefully I can toss out some fun prizes and kind of reward people for coming, checking out our store, hanging out with us. Like I said, it was just a really good time. Wasn't about pushing product. Matter of fact, I ripped more product for myself to be able to have my son and I play, as well as just some free stuff to kind of kick over to Matt and Mike as a way to say thanks. And that'll probably continue for at least a little while, maybe even until I'm done with orientation. It's more about building that community, and that's what I'm focused on right now. And so I'm hoping to get to that point, honestly, where I'm really not sitting and doing any play. Like, it was really fun and I enjoy it, but I was telling my son this, I actually have more fun seeing other people have fun and helping, knowing that I'm cultivating that experience. And so that's where I hope I can get to. I hope that we can get to where I've got those 8, 12, maybe even 16 on a crazy night, seats full, and everyone's there having a good time. I'm walking around kind of just enjoying what everyone's doing, and I'm reliving a little bit of those memories through other people who are playing. Maybe selling some product along the way. Obviously, I need to sell product in order to stay in business, keep the doors open, and provide that kind of an environment. But I really just want to spend that time and being able to see others, hopefully more kids, be able to have those kind of experiences, because that's what I was, right? That's the kind of thing I did. We would go to a game store. We would play. I would go to a friend's house. I would play. And it was about being able to take this game and use it as a medium to build relationships with one another, to kind of develop some friends. And that was during a time where some of the stuff was a little harder to find those connections with. And so hopefully our store can be that for our local community. And hopefully they're excited about coming back and returning, and maybe helping support our store is fantastic as well. So anyway, I just felt like I would share that. Kind of an interesting take is that we all kind of build these things up, and we've got some expectations, and the reality is that things don't always go the way we want or go the way we hope. And that was really kind of something that level set me yesterday, kind of put me a little bit in my place. I have high ambitions and high drive, and I push really, really hard. And sometimes we all need that sanity check to say, you know what, you've got to be a little bit more patient and just let things play out the way they're going to. And knowing that if you're doing the right things and you're putting the priority on the right thing, which in this case isn't pushing sales, but it's just trying to have that fun, enjoyable experience and space for people, that inevitably it'll happen. Fingers crossed it happens for our store, and people will enjoy it. And I don't know. That's kind of something that I just wanted to throw out there. It's it wasn't the crazy success that I had hoped it would be and wanted it to be, and really kind of thought it was going to be, and that's okay. And so that was something I just wanted to share. I think sometimes we all need that little bit of a level set or sanity check to say it's okay if things don't go 100% the way you thought they were going to. You've got to reel it in, find the joy, find the success in what did happen. And I had a great time. I'm going to throw one other thing in there, I guess, is that the most rewarding part to me, obviously having people show up and support us, great. Having people have a good time, they're awesome. My son, this is the thing that made my night, folks, is that on the way home, he wanted to do nothing but talk about Magic. He told me multiple times that it was the most fun he has had playing Magic ever. And we've played Magic quite a few times. We play Magic at home. We've played Magic at a friend's house down in Virginia. And he had good experiences there. But this was the most fun that he's ever had. And he might be hooked for quite a while now. He came home crazy late at night, whatever it was, 11 o'clock, went to bed, got up this morning. Before we had gotten into the store, I left the house at 9 o'clock this morning, 9:15, somewhere in there, so that I could get to the store, open it up, give my wife a little bit more time to get in. He had already sorted through a bunch of his cards and built his own standard red deck. And he wanted to just talk about it. And I felt a little bad at first because I was still gathering my stuff, and so I couldn't sit down and do much with it. However, I made it a priority before I left to sit down, go through his deck. And I will say I had a super joyous dad moment to see that he did a really awesome job putting that deck together. He had a really good wide range of kind of a mana ramp up. So if you don't know Magic, you can probably skip past a little this part. But he had a really good cost distribution between 1 cost, 2 cost, 3 cost, 4. A couple higher level things in there at around 7 cost. He threw 15 mana in the deck, and he knew what he was going for in there. And that was just really cool to see that he was so excited and interested that he came back and he did something, honestly, that I would be intimidated to do. I don't know that I could sit down and build an effective deck. And I think he did a fantastic job at throwing this together, and good creature versus equipment versus spell, sorcery, instant distribution in the deck. Such a happy dad moment, and by far my favorite part of the night was hearing him talk about how much fun he had, and that's what our store is about. It's about taking and building this time where we can enjoy the time that we put into these things, right? The Lego investing side that I've done for a long time on the side has always kind of been something that I've done, and it's been profitable, and I've had a good time from the business sense, but it's not something that really brings a lot of joy because no one enjoys it. You don't get to see your end customer. You don't get to share that experience with anybody. You literally just send things into Amazon and you check a phone and you see numbers come in. And that's not what I was looking forward to. And the brick and mortar that we've got, it's really changed that. I get to see the joy on kids' faces. I get to see parents excited about the gifts that they're getting for their kids. It's so much different. Now, I'm not moving nearly the volume that I did through Amazon, but I'm more connected with the people that are getting it, and that just makes a world of difference. So before I start rambling and throwing in other topics, that's just really, I think, where I'm going to cap this video. I hope that you enjoyed this kind of a reality check, behind the scenes, just some real talk. I want to do more sharing both on YouTube and on Instagram, and so I'm going to go out of my way to do that, folks. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found value in it. Please, if you did, click on that subscribe button, click on the like, share the video with your friends, and let's keep going with this journey together.